Hello everyone, how are you all doing? So, few interesting patterns that we are seeing to form on the Nasdaq itself, the S&P 500, SPY, all those things. So, first thing, of course, S&P 500 is what I want to show you all. This is the 4 hour chart. Let's go to the daily chart because this is a bit of a long term thing that is happening. So if you look over here, look at all of this action that was happening. Long term downward channel since almost when this is end of December 2021. Now, what happened over here? Price broke out. Is a retest happening and hopefully we will see a bounce. So this is actually quite important. This is a retest of the long term channel and this is a new price trend that we are seeing to form. So look at this point. It's a very important intersection for S&P 500. So again, let's hope that we see a nice bounce from here. If not, then there will be more trouble because look at all this action here. We might see, a test of this area, which is around 375, and that will coincide somewhere around here. So we don't want that to happen, and hopefully we will see a nice bounce from here also. If I zoom in on the S&P 500, look at this candle. This is extremely important. It's a hammer candle, no body over here, showing that as soon as we reached around 3950, lot of buyers entered the market at this important intersection point, and buyers have pushed the price up, so that is a good sign. Now the problem is a lot of moving averages are here, so we will face a bit of a trouble trying to go past 4000. However, again, if I zoom out, this is the channel which is important. So we saw a lot of action over here and finally we managed to bounce. So once again we are testing this part, and as you can see, this is a long-term channel which is causing an intersection here. So another bounce can take us towards best case scenario 4250, 4300, where we will see this double top pattern form. Now I want to zoom out and show you the volume profile. Look at this. This is the peak in volume, which means 3950 was the price where most volume was traded. So this is exactly coinciding over here at the bottom part of this channel. Next we can see is around 4140, 4150, this area here. So this will act as a volume resistance. So if there is a bounce from here, hopefully, then yes, 4140, 4150 is possible on the S&P 500. Also let us know what do you think, bounce is coming or not, and also what are you invested in these days. And talking about investments, let's check Tesla quickly, because a lot of up and down happening on Tesla. People are not very sure what is happening, but yeah, again the point of control is sitting at 193. Again, this is acting as a nice support overall for Tesla. If you talk about this pattern, look at this. This is an inverse head and shoulder pattern forming on the Tesla stock, and if we see a continuation of this pattern, then this is a bullish pattern. We can see 225 where the 200 moving average is sitting, and also 225 will fall somewhere over here. Look at this. This is a long term price channel that we were in, continuous rejections on the top part of this channel. So I think yes, a retest of this area can happen, which will very important for Tesla. So this is one of the bullish patterns, and same with this head and shoulder pattern. This is also possible. Again, this will be the head and shoulder pattern, but this time might be possible that there is a retest of this which happened recently and we just bounce from here. If this does not happen, then yeah, maybe even 165, 170 can happen and we might continue the bounce. That is also possible. But overall, yes, head and shoulder pattern is there. Other than this, we can see that this pennant is forming on the price. So hopefully in the next few days, we might see a breakout, and of course we are hoping that the breakout is towards the upside, to 25 being the target on the top part of this channel. If not, the other thing that is possible is that this is a bull flag forming and price stays stuck in this range for some time and then tries to break out. So these are some of the patterns that are forming currently on the Tesla stock. So what else are you people invested in? Let's check Apple also. What is happening on Apple on the daily chart? Price still above the 200 moving average, that is good, but the moving averages are all very close now. So if we see a bounce from here, quite the chance that we might see a full crossover, which is known as a golden cross on the moving average, so that will be helpful. And if I zoom out over here, once again you can see that a lot of volume was there around the current price. So that is a good thing to see, that there is volume here which can act as a support, and that is exactly what we want to see. And if we try to draw up a quick trend line like this, because we were in a downward trend before, so you can see we are actually having a breakout and we are trying to test this trend line. If we are able to bounce from here, then that will actually be very good. Technically speaking, yes, that will be a strong bounce. So a lot of stocks and the indexes are reaching a critical technical point, so that is a very nice sign. Also, let's check on the fib levels. What are we seeing? So the recent rejection is from the 236 level, 0.3827 sitting at 133, where we might find support. Over the long term, if there is a rejection from here, then yes, 133 might happen. This is what the fib levels are telling us. And if we don't want to go that far on the fib levels, if we just want to see the recent price action, look at this 0.382 level sitting at 147. So closing price was 146.7, so we are almost in that range. So hopefully we see a bounce from here, and the target would be somewhere around the gold zone 0.618, which is sitting at $161. So yes, this is what is happening on Apple. And Neo, let's talk about Neo, because we saw a recent dump on Neo, closing at 9.3, which is 5% down. Also, if I zoom in, look at this gap. Market opened with a gap towards the downside and struggled to cover the gap. However, we saw over here in November that $9 or below $9, $9.5 to $8.5, this range is something that has been very important for Neo, and we saw a very nice bounce from here. So maybe we are heading towards that range, because if you look over here, Wednesday 1st March is the earnings report for Neo. If the report is good, then of course we are going to see a nice pump, hopefully towards $12-13. But overall, yes, this was the trend line Neo was trying to follow, and we have broken down from here, which means another rejection from this trend line. Again, this long-term trend line is what is causing the problem for a lot of stuff. Look at all of this rejection from this trend line again over here recently. So this is the issue, we are not able to cross this trend line, and that is what we want to see. It would have been better if we saw a bounce here towards maybe 12-13, come back, retest the trend line and go up again technically. But unfortunately that has not happened. Now the only saving grace can be if the earnings are nice, strong earnings, then yes, we are going to get out of this long-term trend. Let's quickly check the fear and greed index also, because that is always very important. So market closed in the greed section at 59 points. Okay, you can see last week we were in 68. So yes, a lot of change has happened over the last 1 week. So it is good that we are now reaching this point, and a bounce from here might be good for the overall market. Let's look at some other stuff. Let's look at gold also. So again, gold is struggling currently. Daily RSI is sitting at 31. Moving to 200 moving average is 1795. Also, let me draw the fib levels. Look at this. So the 0.5 level, which is known as the start of the DYOR zone, is sitting at 1789. So roughly 1790, 1800, somewhere around there, where we can see the 200 moving average is also there. So actually a retest of this level and a bounce from here can be very strong technically, and we can see that the RSI is already 31. A little bit more drop towards 1800 can take the RSI below 30. And for gold, we have seen that below 30 RSI has actually been good. Look at this bounce here. This was another one here, then over here. So that is what we are looking for. If we reach 30 RSI on 1800, then yes, that is the point from where a nice long can be taken. Also the volume profile telling us again, look at this peak in volume sitting at 1800. So overall you can see a lot of stuff in the market is reaching critical support areas and a critical bounce area. If the bounce happens, that would mean that technically yes, the uptrends will continue. If that does not happen, then the market might be in for more trouble. So what do you people think is going to happen next? Especially for the S&P 500, this is really crucial. Like I showed you the candle itself, right? This is extremely important. It's a very big retest happening right now, which might turn the whole thing around and we might enter a nice upward trend. So yeah, let us know what you think is going to happen. Let's quickly touch upon the crypto market also, looking at Bitcoin. Let's get rid of the old stuff. Yeah, I think this is good enough. So first we were in this trend line, not able to hold. We are seeing a drop towards the 100 moving average, sitting at 22,850 in purple over here. Now look at this action. This is actually important. Near the 100 moving average, what happened over here? Lot of action before we saw a pump, and we saw a couple of times we dropped below the 100 moving average also. So now very similar thing can happen also. Won't be surprised if we see a little bit of a drop and come back up and then try to bounce. So 22,500, 23,000, this range will be important for the crypto market. So need to hold above this level, then hopefully we will see some continuation of the pump. As you can see that the 4-hour RSI is 30.26. So we are reaching the lower parts. If a little bit of a drop happens again, price will be making a higher high, but the RSI will be making a higher low or almost flat. So that will be a nice bullish development for Bitcoin also. Now we have to look at the other side also. We are looking at all the investments in terms of the stock markets, the stocks themselves, crypto and everything. Now the dollar index, this is what is the opposite side of all of this. And look at what is happening. Very nice uptrend. The last candle, look at this candle here, very aggressive upward candle. Question is, will there be a retest of at least the 200 moving average, which is sitting at 104.6. So the RSI is 74, quite overbought already. So it is possible that yes, a retest of lower level might happen. Let's check the daily chart also, because if you zoom in, look at this candle, very strong upward candle. But good thing is we saw the same candle here also, and we got rejected from 105.5 roughly. The very next day we got rejected 105.5. So is it possible that the same thing will happen? Maybe we'll drop again. But little bit of a concern is the fib levels on the DXY. If I quickly draw them over here, this bounce over here was from the 0.5 fib level at $102, and now we are testing the 0.38 level. So this is a good bounce that we are seeing, can push towards 108 also in an ideal world. But if there is a rejection from this point, then we are probably heading towards the 0.618 level at 99 dollars. And if that happens, then yes, that will really change the scenario, because that would mean a nice pump in the market can happen. Also, the RSI even on the daily is sitting at 68 over here, so a little bit more pump might happen and then we might drop again. So you can see how the markets, the stock market and the individual stocks are sitting at critical bounce areas, whereas the dollar index is reaching a critical rejection area. Look at this double top, that was forming. So yeah, rejection can happen anytime for the dollar index itself, and of course that will be very very good for the other markets. So this is the overall situation. And the VIX index, yes, again look at this rejection from these moving averages. We saw this, we are almost testing them again. So if similar thing happens where we see a rejection on the VIX index, then yeah, lower levels are coming soon. Not all time lows, but yeah, maybe 2-3 points might drop on the VIX index, which is all we need for a small bounce on the S&P and the Nasdaq and the individual stocks. So that would be a good scenario. So hopefully that happens. I really hope that happens. Let's talk about silver. Actually did not check silver for a very long time. This was the old trend line we had. Now we are seeing a sharp correction happening, rejecting from all these moving averages here, but the daily RSI is 24, and you can see this level here was all resistance, so probably might try to bounce from here. So let's draw the fib levels also. Let's see what the fib levels are telling us. So we have even broken past the 0.5 level. The only next available option is the 618 gold zone, sitting at 20.47. So 20.47, as you can see, this level of RSI on silver is actually nice, has proven nice area for pump. So if you check this one here, nice pump, then this one here again there was pump. So overall, yeah, you can see how the markets are at critical area of support. Hopefully we see a nice bounce, and let's hope that the next week is going to be good for us. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys enjoy your weekend also, and I will hopefully see you next time